I'm screaming.
We're not talking about anything, but it's auto steers are illegal. Drop-in auto steers are illegal. Swift links, if you make one, are illegal. Um, they made the
There's a
ATF
situation
made
that
a
needs taken care
shoestring.
of. Anybody
Uh,
available?
they legally classified a shoestring as a machine gun. Put some guy in jail for 10 years. What else have they done?
Didn't they do that with bump stocks?
They banned bump stocks and then they unbanned bump stocks.
This is Patrol
So there's a lot of those
4561,
that got pulled out
taking
from
care
water
of
in
the
their boats.
accident.
What's the other one? Somebody has made and registered a coat hanger as a drop-in auto steer. That's the weird one to me. That somebody did that.
Modified auto sear is just a filed down auto sear. It's like part of the trigger, right?
No, it's something that you're dropping into. So a drop-in auto steer is what you do with like an M4, where you drop it into like where the trigger well is, and it basically turns a single fire into a full auto
We need an officer
once you hold
to
the
take
trigger,
care of a traffic stop.
because it doesn't
you
let
do
the
it?
hammer reset. It just holds it down.
Oh,
obviously-
okay. I'm thinking of the wrong thing. Auto sear is where you click in and that's a shot, and then you click out and that's a shot.
Yeah, no, that's a fire release trigger. They are cracking down on those right now. Whoop, shit. They're cracking down hard on those right now. They've rated the AT. Hold on. They've rated. I think it's a Rare Breed. They've rated two different companies. One of them is Big Daddy Unlimited, and I think the other one is Rare Breed Triggers. They've rated both of their locations to get like the sales records of who's bought those. I have not bought either one of them because, frankly, jail time.
Your ID, please.
You streaming?
Here you go,
Yeah.
officer.
What's up? Okay, you're streaming. So I'll avoid anything illegal.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I live in Houston.
Rocket's streams are mostly muted anyway because he plays music.
I'm not
Yeah, I've
playing
noticed
music.
that. Like, I've
So
popped
much
into one, I had to
money
turn the
for
volume
such a
up,
small
and all I hear is
infraction.
just loud heavy metal.
I sent you an invite, Knives. I just I gave this guy a citation for graffiti.
I'm gonna finish watching this video.
Yeah, I stopped halfway through. I
This
forgot
is
about
Patrol 4561, taking
I'm
care of
watching
the
freaking
accident.
Girl from Nowhere. This show's jacked up.
Girl's got a fascination with murder right now.
Is,
Where the
is
hell
she
is the
feeling
accident?
murdery?
Yeah, it's a lot of Dead by Daylight.
It says clear the accident, but I don't see a fucking accident. Oh, here it is.
Fucking 5-year sentence extended to 12 years because he tried to play insane. That's nuts.
I don't think it's a real story.
I believe it.
I don't.
You're taking too long. Sending another unit.
When you think about it, there's money in it. Like, you keep a patient, they pay for the patient, so on. So there's no reason to believe that they're sane at that point.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
I'm still recovering from the crash. My mind is blank.
ID and, if available, proof of insurance, please.
Here you go, officer.
I'm still recovering from the crash. My mind is blank.
ID and, if available, proof of insurance, please.
Here you go, officer.
Where the fuck is this guy going? What the fuck? Get the fuck back here. Get. Oh no, it's a different dude. Okay. Oh fuck, I thought that was a dude. Alright, here's your accident report.
Here's your accident report.
Thank you, officer.
We're finished here. You're free to go. Have a nice day and take care.
There's a situation that needs taken care of. Anybody available?
I'm currently busy with another issue. Okay, here's your accident report.
Thanks, officer.
I have to arrest you for driving under the influence of narcotics. Please move on to the sidewalk.
Please, no.
Assistance required. Is an
I'm
officer
currently
available?
busy with another issue.
The license plate stayed there.
I have a vehicle here that needs towing. I need a wrecker at my current location, please. I need a wrecker at my current location, I need some backup here to take a suspect into custody.
Understood. We're sending the closest transport to your location. We have a traffic stop that requires taking care of. You're taking too long. Sending another unit.
ID and, if available, proof of insurance, please.
Here you go, officer.
Okay, here's your accident report.
Doesn't look very complete to me.
I'll let you go with a verbal warning this time.
Thank you, officer.
Why is she confused? You fucking hit this fucking car, you dumb bitch.
I'm still recovering from the crash. My mind is blank.
We're finished here. You're free to go. Have a nice day and take care.
I'll be at your location soon.
Recently, they had an article about how the US Army was training bumblebees to sniff out explosives. So I said to a nurse, "Did you know that the US Army's training bumblebees to sniff out explosives?" When I read my medical notes, I saw they'd written, "Believes bees can sniff out explosives." He said, "You know, they're always looking out for non-verbal clues to my mental state, but how do you sit in a sane way? How do you cross your legs in a sane way? It's just impossible." You know, when Tony said that to me, I thought to myself, am I sitting like a journalist? Am I crossing my legs like a journalist? He said, "You know, I've got the Stockwell Strangler on one side of me, and I've got the Tiptoe Through the Tulips rapist on the other side of me. So I tend to stay in my room a lot because I find them quite frightening. And they take that as a sign of madness. They say it proves that I'm aloof and grandiose. So only in Broadmoor would not wanting to hang out with serial killers be a sign of madness." Anyway, he seemed completely normal to me, but what did I know? And when I got home, I emailed his clinician, Anthony Maiden. I said, "What's the story?" And he said, "Yep, we accept that Tony faked madness to get out of a prison sentence because his hallucinations that had seemed quite cliched to begin with just vanished the minute he got to Broadmoor. However, we have assessed him and we've determined that what he is a psychopath. And in fact, faking madness is exactly the kind of cunning and manipulative act of a psychopath. It's on the checklist, cunning, manipulative. So faking your brain going wrong is evidence that your brain has gone wrong." And I spoke to other experts, and they said the pinstripe suit, classic psychopath, speaks to items 1 and 2 on the checklist: glibness, superficial charm, and grandiose sense of self-worth. I said, "Well, I want to hang out with the other patients." Classic psychopath, it speaks to grandiosity and also lack of empathy. So all the things that seemed most normal about Tony was evidence, according to his clinician, that he was mad in this new way. He was a psychopath. And his clinician said to me, "If you want to know more about psychopaths, you can go on a psychopath spotting course run by Robert Hare, who invented the psychopath checklist." So I did. I went on a psychopath spotting course, and I am now a certified, and I have to say extremely adept, psychopath spotter. So, here's the statistics. 1 in 100 regular people is a psychopath. So there's 1,500 people in this room. 15 of you are psychopaths. Although that figure rises to 4%.
He tells that room that 15 of them are psychos?
And business leaders, so I think there's a very good chance there's about 30 or 40 psychopaths.
Continue watching it,
in
he says
this
more on lines
room.
of 30.
It could be carnage by the end of the night.
Could be carnage by the end of the night.
Hare said the reason why is because capitalism at its most ruthless rewards psychopathic behavior, the lack of empathy,
This is Patrol 4562.
the glibness,
I'll search for the suspect.
cunning, manipulative. In fact, capitalism, perhaps at its most remorseless, is a physical manifestation of psychopathy.
I've got a car here that needs
It's like
towing.
a form of
Can
psychopathy
you send a
that's
record to my current
come
location?
down to affect us all. And Hare said to me, "You know what, forget about some guy at Broadmoor who may or may not have fake madness. Who cares? That's not a big story. The big story, he said, is corporate psychopathy. You want to go and interview yourself some corporate psychopaths. So I gave it a try. I wrote to the Enron people. I said, can I come and interview you in prison to find out if you're psychopaths?
The Enron people,
they didn't reply. So I changed tack. I emailed Chainsaw Al Dunlap, the asset stripper.
Yeah,
from
he
the
suggests
1990s.
that most of
he would come into failing businesses
most people
and
who own
close down
companies like that,
30%
like large
of the
companies, are
workforce, just
psychopaths.
turn American towns
I'm
into
getting so
ghost
distracted with
towns.
this thing
And
that I'm
I
writing wrong
emailed him and I
tickets.
said, I believe you may have a very special brain anomaly that makes you special.
Like this guy's on the curb. I said he was too far
Interested
from
in
the
the
street.
predatory spirit and fearless. Can I come and interview you about your special brain anomaly? And he said, come on over. So I went to our Dunlap's grand Florida mansion. It was filled with sculptures of predatory animals. There were lions and tigers. He was taking me through the garden. There were falcons and eagles. He was saying to me over there, you've got sharks and more. He was saying this in a less effeminate way. You've got more sharks and you've got tigers. It was like Narnia. And then we went into his kitchen. Now, our Dunlap would be brought in to save failing companies. He'd close down 30% of the workforce, and he'd quite often fire people with a joke. Like, for instance, a famous story about him. Somebody came up to him and said, "I've just bought myself a new car." And he said, "Well, you may have a new car, but I'll tell you what, you don't have a job."
Did you see SHOT Show? Primary weapons with sex dolls is there.
And I said, you know how I said in my email that you might have a special brain anomaly that makes you special? And he said, yeah, it's an amazing theory. It's like
no, but I'm laughing if they used them as booth babes.
And I said,
yeah, they did.
Well, I mean, that's originally what they were intended for, was, you know, models.
Might say,
or, you know, clothing models.
Makes you...
True.
And he said, what?
I'm still recovering from
and
the
I
crash.
said, a psychopath.
My
And I
mind is blank.
said, I've got a list of psychopathic traits in my pocket.
Yeah, I was totally unaware that they did that.
Available proof of insurance, please.
Yeah, they put sex dolls in tables and shit. It's pretty funny.
Grandiose sense of self-worth, which I have to say would
Seems
have
like
been
it'd
hard
be
for him
cheaper
to
to hire,
develop,
like,
he was standing underneath a giant oil
bikini
painting of
people.
himself.
Sex dolls are expensive.
I mean, you can probably rent
He
them.
said, well, you've got to believe in you.
Ew.
And I said,
well, I was just saying, man.
manipulative. He said, that's leadership.
Just probably somebody who
And I
rents out
said,
sex dolls.
shallow affect and inability to experience a range of emotions. He said, who wants to be weighed
That's the
down
market
by
you
some
didn't think about.
nonsense emotions? So he was going down the psychopathic
years now, we're
checklist,
hearing about
basically
somebody
turning
renting
it
out
into
sex
who
dolls.
moved my cheese.
I imagine at my age,
But I
all
did
the
notice something
girls I'm
happening to
with
me the
have
day I was
rented
with
out
Al
already.
Dunlap. Whenever he said anything to me that was kind
I
of
mean, you're always
normal,
paying.
like
You know,
he
the
said
difference is the hooker
no
just puts the
to
price on
juvenile
the door.
delinquency. He said he got accepted into West
What the
Point,
fuck is-
and you know, they don't let delinquents in West Point. He said no to
Girlfriend's
many
butthole.
short-term
ID and if
marital
available, proof of
relationships.
insurance,
You say
please.
girlfriend's
He's only
butthole?
married
What are you
twice,
guys talking
admittedly.
about? This
Yeah,
psychopath thing
girlfriend's
stuff.
like
playing.
butthole
In her
will
divorce
cost money.
papers,
Am I-
that
should
he
I be
once
watching
threatened
that?
her with a knife and said he
I'm
always
watching
wondered
some
what human
nerd
flesh tasted like.
rage about
But people
NFTs
say
and video games.
stupid
Yeah,
things
watch
to
what-
each other
watch
in
what you
bad
want, but
marriages in the heat of an argument. In his
This was
second
interesting.
marriage,
I'm still recovering from the crash. My mind is blank.
Yeah, the psychopath thing. I don't think he's wrong. I think there's degrees of it, and we may not necessarily look at it that way.
Well, I don't know. I think there's a lack of compassion, or there's compassion. You know, like that should be the definition, not that other shit. To me, like if you're a psychopath, a sociopath is a psychopath to me. I guess I don't
Well,
really
most
distinguish.
sociopaths still show feelings for close family members and stuff.
Oh, do they? I didn't know that.
ID and if available,
I
proof
thought they
of
just had
insurance, please.
no.
Here you go,
They
officer.
didn't care about people.
I think it's innate, I guess. It's like, oh, that's my mom, I guess I can't murder them.
It would be kind of rude.
Grohl linked something on serial killers.
I'm
It was,
issuing you a ticket for your
I forget who
expired
it was.
ID. That will be between $75 and $150.
Oh, come on. That's
It's
so
like
much
the
money.
Green River or something. But yeah, they showed compassion for their family, although they, just
I have a
murdered
vehicle
somebody.
here that needs towing. I need a wrecker at my current
Cold blood,
location,
no
please.
reason.
I have a vehicle here that needs towing. I need a wrecker at my current location, please.
I had both their vehicles towed before I gave them the port. I fucked up. God damn it.
Has lasted 41 years. So whenever he said anything
But yeah,
to me that just seemed
you
kind
should
of
probably watch the second
psychopathic,
video.
I
It's
thought to
pretty
myself, well, I'm not going to put that in my book. And then I realised that becoming a psychopath spotter had kind of turned
And
me a little bit
hookers are keeping
psychopathic.
girlfriends.
So I was desperate to
Depends
shove
on
him in a
consumption rate, but yes.
box-smart psychopath. I was
That's probably
desperate to define him by his maddest edges. And I realised that, oh my God, this is what I've been doing for 20 years.
I don't
It's
know
what
the
all
going price of a
journalists do.
hooker, but
We
I imagine it's cheaper than
travel
a
across
girlfriend.
the world with our notepads in our
It depends on
hands and
how
we
high
wait
up
for
the ranks you go. There's a whole
gems.
website for it.
And the gems are always
There's
the
probably a lot of
outermost aspects.
they keep getting
of
shut
our
down. I know
interviewee's
one of my
personality,
work
and we
friends used
stitch
to
them
talk
together
about
like
what was it?
medieval monks, and we
Backpage.
leave the normal stuff
Oh, that
on
one
the
got shut
floor.
down. There's a
You know,
handful
this
of
is a
other
country
ones.
that
I just know the ones where at least the
overdiagnoses
professionals
certain
advertise.
mental disorders hugely. Childhood bipolar.
You know, I like to
children
make
as
sure
young
my
as
hookers are
4
certified.
are being labelled bipolar because they have
Credentials,
temper
background
tantrums,
checks, all that fun
which
stuff.
scores them high on their bipolar checklist.
I personally think they should go
When I
on
got
like
back
a
to
time
London,
rate. Like I don't want to
Tony
pay
phoned
for
me.
an hour and only last 10
He said, "Why
minutes.
haven't you been returning my calls?"
That's
I
50
said, "Well,
minutes I
they
gotta sit there.
say
I'm
that you're a
streaming.
psychopath." And he said,
Wow, we haven't done
"I'm not a
anything illegal yet."
psychopath." He said, "You know what? One of the items on the
I was
checklist is
just
lots
making
of
fun of
remorse.
hookers.
And
Sorry.
another item on the checklist is cunning manipulative.
Is this making you
So
uncomfortable?
when you say you
No, I
feel
just wanna
remorse
throw
for
it
your
on stream,
crime,
man.
they say
That was
typical of the psychopath to cunningly
Sure.
say he feels remorse when he
taking too long.
doesn't.
Sending
It's
another
like
unit.
witchcraft. They turn everything upside down. He said, "I've got a tribunal coming up. Will you come to it?" So I said, "Okay." So I went to his tribunal.
I've got a car here that needs
And
towing.
after 14
Can you
years
send a
in
wrecker to my
Broadmoor,
current location?
they let him go. They decided that he shouldn't be held indefinitely because he scores high on a checklist. It might mean that he has a greater than average chance of recidivism. So they let him go. And outside in the corridor he said to me, "You know what, John? Everyone's a bit psychopathic." He said, "You are, I am." Well, obviously I am. I said, "What are you going to do now?" He said,
I've
"I'm
got
going
a
to go
car
to
here that
Belgium
needs
because there's a
towing.
woman there that
Can
I
you send a
fancy,
wrecker
but
to my
she's
current
married,
location?
so I'm going to have to get a split up from her husband." Anyway, that was 2 years ago, and that's where my book ended. And for the last 20 months, everything was fine. Nothing bad happened. He was living with a girl outside London. He was, according to Brian the Scientologist, making up for lost time, which I know sounds ominous, but isn't necessarily ominous. Unfortunately, after 20 months, he did go back to jail for a month. He got into a fracas in a bar, he called it. Ended up going to jail for a month, which I know is bad, but at least a month implies that it's whatever the fracas wasn't too bad. And then he phoned me. And you know what? I think it's right that Tony is out, because you shouldn't define people by their maddest edges. And what Tony is he's a semi-psychopath. He's a grey area in a world that doesn't like grey areas. But the grey areas are where you find the complexity, and it's where you find the humanity, and it's where you find the truth. And Tony said to me, "John, can I buy you a drink in a bar? I just want to thank you for everything you've done for me." And I didn't go. What would you have done? Thank you. you.
I don't understand the point of his TED Talk. They pay money to do those TED Talks. You know what I mean? So whenever you watch a TED Talk, they have paid $5,000 or so to do the TED Talk. They pay the TED Talk people to do their TED Talk. So they should have an agenda, right? And he didn't have very much self-promotion. Like, no one in that audience or who watches the YouTube video is going to try to pay him to be their personal journalist. You know what I mean? And he's not like I don't know, I don't understand what was in it for him. Like, other than just wanting to share the story, which I wouldn't pay $5,000 to share such a story, you know. I can't imagine that he would. Like, when, oh shit, what's that guy's name who did Dirty Jobs? Remember that show?
Yeah, I know the guy. I can't think of his name.
Okay, yeah, I can't think of his name either. But anyways, when he did it, he was trying to launch a political candidacy. He was trying to get into politics. So he paid money, and then he kind of put himself forth with all of his experiences and his stories. And then at the end said that he would like to get into politics, that he thought that he could do some good based on all of the information and experience, blah, blah, blah. And so that was his pitch, right? It was like, that's what he wanted to do with his TED Talk, basically. But this guy, like, what the fuck?
So wait, they pay you or the speaker pays?
The person who speaks at a TED Talk pays the TED Talk organization to speak there.
You think they pay $5,000 to sit there and do that shit?
At least $5,000, yeah.
This is
A lot of
retarded.
times you'll
I'm
find it'll
sorry.
be someone who just tells CEOs how to breathe properly, right? Like, I think, like, if you watch all the TED Talks on YouTube, you'll find that like half of those are like some dude trying to tell people how to fucking breathe. And I'm not exaggerating, that's exactly what they're doing. And they're just trying to get other CEOs to pay them to tell them how to breathe. Like, it's a fucking total scam, you know? But the CEOs are gullible because they want to be able to relax. They want to be able to be more regular or whatnot, or it's an uncomfortable and very high stress job. So like this idea that if you just breathe properly, everything will go smoothly if your CEO is like appealing, right?
Well, then they got the expenses they got to create from somewhere. So
yeah.
It's,
oh, that's the other thing. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
so then
you
they
think about
expense
it,
that, and then they get paid
50,
out of it.
They got 50. He said 1,500 people, right? And then they set up the stage and all that shit. So, you know, it's probably more than half the cost. And then, fuck, that video had 23 million views, so they probably made fucking 10 grand off that. I forget what it was on the viewer count, but fucking 23 million. Yeah, he's looking like TED Talks is looking at some money just for this guy vomiting about psychopaths.
this math can't be right. You said what? Okay, so 23 million views, right? Is it?
It's like cents to thousands.
Yeah.
What's your
What I'm
question?
reading this is based on 2022. This is the last time this was asked. It's 18 cents per view. So 23. That's $4 million for that one video. In theory, that's what they've made off that.
Yeah.
Well, he fucked up. He should have just posted the video.
That's
He
not
should
even
have
ad
done-
revenue.
But
No,
you don't get the
that's-
notoriety if you just post your own video.
That's the ad revenue from that.
Yeah. So if you do the TED Talk, it's
I
got
can talk about
TED
psychos.
notoriety.
I can talk about psychos. I don't even go do.
I know, right? Yeah, you're just like,
I got
I'll pay
rocket stock.
$5,000 just to get my name out there so that someone can discover something I do. Yeah, I guess so. Like if you're nobody, you're just like $5,000, and then they'll put my face everywhere, and 1 million people will know who I am. Perfect.
Fuck that. We can have a knives talk right here. Let's go.
I don't think you could.
I think we can come up with 23 minutes of bullshit.
Yeah, but I don't
Yeah.
think that you could pitch it to 1 million people.
That's Twitter talk, man.
I've created videos that are like the most important fucking video you could ever watch, And then I talk directly about the population, like 1% growth, just like every other most important video. And I think I got like 20 views.
You're doing this wrong. You need tits.
Yeah, well, I'm doing it wrong because I'm not on TED Talks, right? If I got on TED Talks, if I paid them $5,000 fucking dollars to have me, Joe Schmo, talk about, overpopulation, then sure. But then I'd be stuck talking to everybody about fucking overpopulation. I'd be like, well, fuck, I'm a victim of success at that point, right?
Look, man, I got no problems with this. I'll buy some tits. I'll wear them. I'll get a web stream going. You pick a topic. We'll get 23 million views.
I think you don't need me for that. You could do that on your own.
This is a family business, sir.
I'm in if you get the tits.
I mean, it's kind of like the freak show at that point. Like, people are just like, it's like watching a train wreck at that point, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, whatever it takes, right? Like, no publicity is bad publicity.
I will buy tits.
Are you getting on
drunk.
this game? Are either of you joining me? I don't like copying alone. I like copying.
I don't know what that game is, to be honest.
It's just you pretend you're a copy. You run around and tell people how fucked up they are. Then you fucking arrest them. Like, you did this wrong. You did that wrong. Now you're going to jail, bitch.
You give them $150.
No, I take it back. You don't do any of that. You just look them in the eye, dead center in the eye, and you go, "Bully busters, bitch," and then you arrest them.
And I'm not allowed to drive anymore.
Dude, Hagby, Knives is so bad at driving in this game. Oh my god. And if you wreck your car, you have to start that shift over.
What the fuck?
So Knives and I were playing. I think we restarted the same shift for 2 fucking hours straight. And then finally I was like, okay, ride with me.
Yeah.
But to be fair, the driving in this is not easy. Like, it's not like a racing game. You know, I mean, you can't just press the throttle and expect any kind of any typical result. In this game, you press the throttle, and you are literally dumping fuel right into the car. Like, it's just, that's what it's doing. And so, like, if you're pulsing it, then sure, like, it kind of like you can feather it down or whatever. But you're basically just going to accelerate like stupid crazy. And so what you kind of do is you kind of like stupid crazy accelerate just very lightly, and then you hit the shift button, which is your cruise control in this game. And then you just hope that you're at a reasonable speed, and not at like 5 miles per hour or 50. If you go 50 miles per hour in this game, you're going to wreck. You like can't turn your car at 50 miles per hour for some reason.
Well, it's a Crown Vic.
No, actually, I got the SUV. I think this is
that should definitely answer that. Oh god, it's a Ford. Never mind.
But yeah, there's a Crown Vic as well. I think the base car is a Crown Vic.
Yeah. I guess my problem with it is it's like you hit like left and right to turn, and then there's like a delay. Like, it doesn't want to like Forza or something like that. You don't just turn. You're like, and that's how you turn.
Yeah, it's a very slow turn, that's for sure. The only thing that bothers me in the game is the running. Like, you just look fucking retarded, right? You just look like Gumby, claymation, missing animation clips, missing frames. Just like your legs up, it's down. It's up, it's down. It's up, it's down. And you're just stuttering along at a pace that's out of sync.
It's definitely a Unity special.
Yeah. I think it might be an Unreal Engine, but I'm not for sure. Yes, I don't know. I don't know what engine this is. Yeah, it's not the newest Unreal. I think it's an old Unreal. What's that?
It says Unreal when you're loading.
Oh, it does? Okay, yeah. Are you joining me?
A little bit.
You need an invite?
Taking a little break.
I thought you said a little bit. You meant in a little bit. Okay. No, I don't know. I got 16 days locked in on RDR2.
The problem is that once you hit max, it resets.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like, that's not scary.
Yeah, I don't like that it resets. That's fucking retarded. They need to get rid of that reset thing.
Well, they got. Oops. I mean, they did it because everybody was like, you hit max and that was it. You get too much gold too fast. They complained.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I mean, again, there's really nothing to spend it on.
Yeah, I haven't had a fucking update since what? Crazy Lady, Animal Lady.
Yeah. That was like the last major update, really.
It was like fucking 2 years ago.
Well, the mods are still pretty good on it, though. Wait a minute. Thinking of the wrong game. I was thinking of GTA. Yeah, I don't guess there aren't any mods on, well, there probably are on, like, that Nexus site.
I mean, there's more mods for God of War than there is RDR.
Oh, man.
There's an emergency. Urgent
on my way.
response required. Officer available?
I've arrived on site. I'll start clearing up the accident.
The one thing about the accidents is that it underrates, like, showing the absence of damage, right? Like, you get points for showing where there is damage, but there's no reward for showing spots on the car where there's no damage. Which, if you're in an accident, like, that's a big deal. Because later someone's going to say, like, you fucked that up, you fucked this up. And they'll be like, no, that wasn't from this accident. That was some other one.
I'm still recovering from the crash. My mind is blank.
I'm shocked, officer. I have no idea what happened.
ID and, if available, proof of insurance, please.
Here you go, officer.
ID and, if available, proof of insurance, please.
Here you go, officer.
Okay, here's your accident report.
This is an accurate report. Thank you.
I'm issuing you a ticket because you don't have valid insurance.
Really? That's so much money.
I have to arrest you for driving under the influence of cannabis. Please move on to the sidewalk.
Please, no!
This is your accident report.
Well documented and exhaustive report. Thank you, officer.
I have to issue you a ticket because you don't have valid insurance.
Why does it cost so much?
I have a vehicle here that needs towing. I need a wrecker at my current location, please. I have a vehicle here that needs towing. I need a wrecker at my current location, please. I need some backup here to take a suspect into custody.
Understood. We're sending the closest transport to your location.
I'm parked nearby. I'll be at your location soon. Hi. I'm here to take the suspect. Do not resist and come with me to the patrol. Car.
I have to.
I've got a car here that needs towing. Can you send a wrecker to my current location?
Sure, it'll be with you shortly.
I had 2 tow trucks show up. They both tried to lift the car out of here, but there's still a car here. What the fuck? It's one of 2, and 2 tow trucks came by and picked up cars somehow. Fucking weird. So the next tech talk after that TED talk is why you will marry the wrong person.
I'm still recovering from the crash. My mind is blank. I'm still recovering from the crash. My mind is blank.
ID and if available, proof of insurance, please.
Here you go, officer.
Assistance required. Is an officer
I'm
available?
currently busy with another issue. I have to arrest you for carrying a fake ID. Please move on to the sidewalk.
Fuck, I arrested him before giving him the accident report. God damn.
Please, no.
Trash. Uninstall.
Oh fuck, no, he's gone.
ID and if available, proof of insurance, please.
Here you go, officer.
I have to arrest you for carrying a fake ID. Please move on to the sidewalk.
Please, don't do that.
afraid I can't make it in time. I need some backup here to take a suspect into custody.
Understood. We're sending the closest transport to your location.
I have a vehicle here that needs towing. I need a wrecker at my current location, please. I have a vehicle here that needs towing. I need a wrecker at my current location, please. I need some backup here to take a suspect into custody.
Understood. We're sending the closest transport to your location.
If I have to.
I parked nearby. I'll leave your locations.
Assistance
Here to take the
required.
suspect into
Is an
custody.
I'm
officer
currently
available?
busy
Do
with
not
another
resist.
issue.
And come with me to the patrol car.
If I have to.
Well, I'm pretty tired. I'm gonna go to bed and get some rest for tomorrow. Hopefully, it'll feel better